Starting off on a rough one. We just got to Forestville State Park in southeastern Minnesota and walked about 200 feet getting down to the river, and it starts raining. It's been storming and lightning and thundering. Just been all around weird weather, hot and muggy, and just a lot of these weird big clouds moving through and just dumping rain left and right. Here it's been dry since we've been here, but a little nervous because when the skies open up, at least this afternoon, it's been really opening up. So I'm tentatively making my way back to the camper. Great start. This is attempt number 2. I still hear thunder. I still feel a little rain. A few years ago, I was walking down this path, and it was way before sunrise. I had planned on walking a while to get to a spot to do some trout fishing, and I had this little cheap light on my bill of my hat, and it gave off a green light, and I was walking down the trail, and it's pitch black. All I see in front of me is my green light, but off in the distance quite a ways was a reflection of something. It looked like a person standing right in the middle of the trail, about 100 yards in front of me, and I knew it wasn't a person, but I couldn't for the life of me figure out what it was. It was giving off a reflection that was different from anything surrounding it, and kept walking forward even though I was starting to get kind of scared. I was trying not to let those creepy thoughts invade my head and make me turn around like a little wimp. So I kept walking, and I got up to it, and it was just a tree that was missing its bark, and it was about my height, and it was right kind of at the start of a bend of the trail. So it looked like it was right in the middle, but I couldn't see that the path had curved over. But man, that spooked me enough where it sticks to me to this day. The things that go on in your head when you're out and about by yourself in the dark. I'm just heading back. Kind of dumb to be out here. Well, it's the next morning, and it rained and thundered quite a bit last night, so I didn't get a ton of rest. But now this morning, it's nice and still. The rain has stopped, and it's still very cloudy, but it's really pretty. I'm standing next to Canfield Creek, and there's a little fog that's just over the water and in the low parts of the valley. And I did set up for my first shot, just overlooking that bridge. I have my camera set up on a tripod, and my settings, in case you're interested, at least what I'm trying, I have it at f9. I just have I'm about 48 millimeters now on my crop sensor camera, focused in on that bridge. Bridge is kind of in the lower thirds roughly. And shutter speed ended up being between 3 and 4 seconds, just because it is quite dark yet, but looks really peaceful. This picnic shelter here is kind of a neat mix of modern and kind of old school looking brick shelter, and the lights are still on since it's fairly early in the morning. And I got a few different shots of the mixture of the light and then some of the background through the shelter, and then a little bit more of a close-up of this light itself and some of the lighting or the cast that it's kind of throwing on the wall. Looks really interesting. And I just have it set up as an exposure bracket. I did, I think, F9, different exposure settings, and had my ISO set at the lowest since I'm on a tripod. But yeah, it seems really interesting. Yeah, behind me is I don't know if it's the original, but it's, I think, somewhat of a historical bridge that crosses over the stream here into the historic town of Forestville. So the road, the bridge for cars doesn't exist, but there is a footpath bridge that you can cross over to get into that little town. We finally got some sun. Have a gorgeous evening. I should mention that a lot of the photos that I'm taking this trip are from my Minolta 50 millimeter. It's a 1.7 aperture prime lens. Got it off of eBay for like $30 or something. And I really like the look of this lens. Something about how it renders the colors and the contrast. A little more contrasty than my other lenses. So it's been fun just to shoot with a prime for a lot of this trip. I'm still using my other lenses, but for the last, I don't know, half a day or so, this thing has been stuck to my camera. Really interesting to see what the ground looks like below the trees and the dirt. It's all this slate or shale. I don't know what this is, but looks pretty cool. That little creek was a lot of fun. It's been a really beautiful night. I hit the sunset about right in the valley after I got out of one of the climbs that I did. And the clouds right now with a little pink hue on them, just gorgeous. It's been foggy the whole time. We've been here since it's really humid out, and so it really kind of washes out photo opportunities unless you're really into that low contrast kind of gray vibe, I guess. And then the mosquitoes have been really bad down here. I don't know if it's normally like this or we've just been lucky the last few days where it hasn't been too bad. So I had to put the net on. I'm getting bit elsewhere. I think I'm just going to head back for now, get some breakfast. We'll try again later. Well, last night ended up being a bit of a bust. It was buggy no matter where I went. I put in almost 5 miles of hiking and only got 2 or 3 pictures that I like. But it's actually 2 or 3 more than I thought I was going to get. So it's the next morning, and I'm trying a different section of the trails that I haven't been to yet on this trip. And knock on wood, so far it's not that buggy. So hopefully it continues that way. Yeah, another kind of a tough outing. It got buggy again, unfortunately, although not as bad. Bad enough to put the net on, but I suffered through it. And then it remained cloudy and foggy. I went up into the Bluffs a little bit and got a couple of shots, but there wasn't a lot there. So probably try this section again. Earlier today, just before lunch, and it got quite warm, quite humid too, but thankfully the bugs weren't out. And I'm out now this evening, and so far, fingers crossed, the bugs have been pretty good. It's a little early in the evening yet. I still have some harsh light, but my goal is to check out this trail that I'm currently on, and it wraps around to go through a ravine trail. And hopefully I'll hit that during more of a golden hour period of the sunlight. So just kind of enjoying the walk currently and looking around. It's still muggy as all get out, but it's really calm. There are very few bugs and just a nice soft light starting now in the valley, and then I had some soft light just now in on the Ravine trail, and that was a lot of fun. Very relaxing, and I think I got a couple of shots as well. So turned out to be a pretty good evening. I needed it since the last couple of photo outings have been kind of rough. It's our final morning on our camping trip, and quite foggy again in the valley, as you can see. I'm struggling a bit. I've always struggled with fog. I don't know if any of you that may happen to watch this video, if you have any pointers on how to make fog look good. It's just, to me, it seems like it's always a bit of a dull gray, or I can't quite get the white balance correct, so it has almost a yellowish hue to it. Nothing, it seems like what I do turns out pleasing, at least to me anyway. And it looks a lot different in person than in my photos, so I struggle with it. But we'll see, maybe in the next hour or so the fog will clear up, and see if there's some other shots before we break camp and head home. That's pretty much a wrap for this trip. Spent 4 days here, basically, and overall it was good. It was challenging because of it was really hot, humid, there's a lot of bugs, and there was a lot of fog as well. So it made the all around the picture opportunities pretty challenging. But I guess if every trip we had ideal conditions, then I wouldn't grow as a photographer. So gotta look at the positives, and honestly I think there's a few photos that did turn out I'm really excited about. So I definitely didn't come away empty-handed. So yeah, all in all it was a good trip. So yeah, if you stuck around to the end, I appreciate it, and hope to catch you again in the next one. Take care.